Oh, there you are, YouTube. Doodle 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 do. Subscribe if you're interested, but also no pressure. But hey, it is another day in October, which means we need to head to the Halloween Advent calendar to find out what movie we're watching today. So let's head that way.
Okay, October 18th. What is it? Ooh, Orphan. Never seen that one. I know about it, but I've never seen it.
I like the white and the dots.
You like the polka dots?
White and dots and orange goes together really well.
Mm-hmm.
Orphan. Okay. I feel like that movie was kind of like upsetting. Like it was off-putting. It was uncomfortable. It was like a difficult watch. It's not a fun watch. It's, I mean, I guess thrilling, but not like thrilling as in, whoa. It's like thrilling as in, ugh, sort of thing. I mean, this one went under my radar. I feel like I think I like know the poster, but this came out in 2009, and I was surprised. Like 2009 was a long time ago at this point. So knowing that it's that old, I don't know. It just I'm surprised at how old it is, I guess, is all I got to say about that. But, um, well, who do we got? We got Vera Farmiga. We have, you know, the Sarsgaard guy. What's his name? He was in Garden State and Education and, you know, movies like that. They're a couple and they have two kids. And oh man, actually, the beginning scene could be triggering for a lot of people. The first scene is kind of a rough one. So I don't know. It can be very rough watch for a lot of people. So yeah, they have these two kids. Try to have a third, doesn't work out, and what they end up doing is later adopting a child, and well, yeah, and then this child that they adopted ends up just it's terrorizing the place. Have you ever seen The Good Son? It kept making me think of The Good Son with Macaulay Culkin and Elijah Wood. Like you have like these two kids who are good, and then this new kid shows up, and she's destroying the place. She's Macaulay Culkin in The Good Son, and nobody can see it except Vera Farmiga. And I guess, you know, the kids can kind of see it, but the dad's like, oh, benefit of the doubt, benefit of the doubt, benefit of the doubt. And it, it Vera's seeing it. She's seeing it, and everybody's gaslighting her and stuff. And it's just, yeah, it's like The Good Son. But there's like no humor in it, no humor in this movie. But it's also not like, but it also still feels like a studio film, you know. So because it's not like some sort of like artsy A24 movie or anything like that. And it still it actually has like some like cartooniness to it because the adoptive daughter dresses like a doll, like a little doll, and also this is kind of based on like a couple of true stories. This movie. I don't want to give too much away. I think it might be better as a spoiler free if I don't say anything. But it's based off of true stories. Maybe I think like one true story, but there are other stories like this. Um, and I don't know. Like it goes pretty hard. It's pretty brutal, and there are like some mature scenes in it. But then some parts of it just feel like a mainstream horror movie that you would go and see like when you're in high school, but then there's like this more grown-up adult tone, because you know, like What Lies Beneath, that movie with Michelle Pfeiffer and Harrison Ford, it's a horror movie, but it's not like kids were leaving high school and then going to see it in the theater, right? Like it where we were with stuff like Scream and I Know What You Did Last Summer, right? So there's an element that feels like of like each of those types of movies, like the kind that you see when you're in high school, or like in college with your buddies, but then there's also this one that feels like it's just for like your parents to watch, right? Like it was built for that audience. That's I think what I'm trying to say here is the audience feels a little confusing to me. I don't know who it's for. Who's it for? I mean, it's kind of, I think it's for everybody, not little children, but I think either could watch it, but it doesn't seem to have like the funness of a horror film for the high school college audience in it. It just has more of a seriousness to it, but that seriousness is juxtaposed with the the doll clothing that kind of makes it feel weird, like like Annabelle or something. I don't know. That's kind of what it. It's just a weirdness to what we're getting, I think. Yeah, but yeah, this movie gets pretty brutal, um, and but it's weird, like in a mainstream way. Like you're watching a mainstream movie, and you're like, oh, they went pretty hard here. Um, and but here's the thing, like I feel there are a couple like problems I found, just like I don't know, almost like just little goofs that they made or just didn't fully think out. I think maybe I noticed like I noticed one, and I think my wife noticed two others. They're easy to ignore, but you're kind of like, hey, that doesn't make sense. Um, but otherwise, I feel like it's a very affecting movie. It worked, but you can't call it like a favorite because you're not like having a good time. It's like entertaining, but I don't know. I was just like, this is tough, and maybe it's because I have kids. Like if I watched this when I didn't have kids, I don't know if I would be as affected. I really do think that's a big part of it, because you're thinking of your own kids in this situation, and it's just like, oh my gosh, what, what do I, you're just watching it like that the whole time, trying to, you're comparing it to your own life. Yeah, I think that might be a lot of why this movie was so affecting, because I imagine if I watched this before having kids, I just would have like watched it and been like, oh yeah, good horror movie. But this one, it's like, ooh, man, tough watch, difficult watch. So I feel like I recommend it though, because like we were engaged the entire time. We were like, we were on the screen, where some of the other movies we've watched, you're just like, oh man, this could speed up. This could speed up a bit, but this one, I wasn't thinking it. Not at all. I was fully engaged, and I feel like one of the only other movies that we've felt that way, where it just is like really moving, was Ma. Honestly, when we were watching Ma, we were just like really engaged in that movie. I feel like it was one of these two were, Ma and this one were some of the most engaging films for the two of us, because my wife's fallen asleep through a lot of these. She's just passing out. But I guess maybe that's what I'm saying. She's the one who had a different engagement of this film and Ma than she has with the other ones, because she's passing out through a lot of these movies that we're watching. But yeah, I would recommend it. I'm curious to know if you have seen it, what your thoughts are. Vera Farmiga is great. She's wonderful. She's kind of like a horror icon, right? I mean, she has The Conjuring. She has this. She has Bates Motel. I think other things too. I think my wife was mentioning something else that she's seen her in. But I think that's pretty cool that she carved that out for herself. I more thought of her because I think I'm coming around to the whole horror aspect, but before I thought of her as more like prestige film, awards style film, because she's in like Up in the Air with George Clooney. She's in The Departed, Scorsese's Departed, and I think maybe that's like where I was expecting her path to go, and then maybe we'd see her on the Oscar stage someday accepting an award. But it seems like things have kind of shifted, and she's really found a place in the horror genre and had a lot of success with it, which is really cool. I kind of love when that happens, when someone like finds their genre and they're great at it, and then they sort of become known for it. I don't know if they like that. You know, I think some actors don't want that to happen to them, but I always think it's kind of cool. But you know, it's always exciting to see actors hop around into different genres as well. Like Tom Hanks. I'm going way off of this movie here, but you know, like when he made Cloud Atlas, and then I didn't see that one movie he made with like a robot. I didn't see that one, but like when he does sci-fi, it's really cool. I like when he does like the stuff like that, or the Lady Killers. Like he was just doing a very grand performance in that movie. So you know, I like it when they bounce around also. But uh, all of that to say, Vera Farmiga, she was very good in this, and I really enjoyed the movie. The two kids were good, especially the youngest kid. I mean, she was fantastic, and also the adopted kid, um, very good performance. I mean, again, we were just like uncomfortable, like you feel unsettled. It was um, off-putting sort of movie, but like in a mainstream sense. Again, think of it like in a mainstream sort of way. Uh, Again, what did you think of it? Have you seen it? I'd love to know your comments, or I'd love to know your opinions on the film, your thoughts on the film. Let me know in the comments below, and perhaps we'll see you tomorrow for more Pure Hangout.